Hi, quick disclaimer, these are my thoughts and opinions alone, and also I swear, and I'm going to swear on this one because it's, they are, right? So last year we had a cost of living crisis payment as on benefits. I'm on benefits. Yep, I'm one of those. I'm a useless eater. And what they want got. Yeah. So basically, they gave out this money, and then at the end they said there's going to be another payment. We're going to carry it on through next year, and then ever since then, which I believe was October of last year, it seems like pretty much on the daily, certainly several times a week, the news has been coming out, exact date you're going to get your the cost of living payment rolls out, government to announce when, clickbait titles, but nowhere were they saying, they just said spring, right? Don't know whether you can hear the dicky birds out there. It's spring. Somebody recently, I believe, in Parliament called for it to be all done and paid for by the end of March. And the government's like, no, we can't do that. Last week I posted it on Facebook because it really does boil my piss, right? This whole, we're keeping you hanging on and hanging on and hanging on. Well, just to get it out of the way, in case anybody's wondering, they're saying now April the 25th, but it's between April the 25th and the 17th of May or something. So they're really hanging it out. And the last payment for this year is next year. Couldn't make it up. But yeah, now my point, what's pissing me off about this is A, the media. Now, how anybody still trusts the media is beyond me, right? Like, literally, Donald Trump was ahead of his time, mate. Fake news all the fucking time. Like, literally. And they're bullshitting. They are, every day when I picked up my phone, it'd be like cost of living payment. The amount of times I clicked on it. Because it's like, well, I want to know. Because I'm breast sick. Do you know what I mean? And I'd quite like to get my oven fixed. Because I ain't had chips in ages. All the posh people are going, chips and oven chips, you scutty thing. But there you go, I am a scutty thing. I am the bottom end of the food chain. Why can't we just eat the rich? Oh God, no, I bet that tastes disgusting. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, foie gras. Oh, Prince Charles, not my king. Yak, sausages. Calm down. Thoughts, pull them back in. Right, so basically what they're doing with this, they know what they're doing, right? Because there are people, I should imagine, hundreds of thousands, if not a couple of million people who are hanging on that payment so fucking bad, and there will be people who've already borrowed and spent that money and are now, and have been for months, because they've been saying this since last fucking October, November, keeping people hanging on. Is it today? Is it going to be today? Is it going to be today? What about now? What about now? What about now? And these people will have borrowed that money and accrued as much again in debt on that money, and they've not even got it. When that comes, it's going to be paid on debt. There are going to be people who are so cloyed up inside. I feel it for them. Do you know what I mean? I feel it for these people. Because we are promoted. Debt is promoted to us. It is advertised. And you know what else is advertised? Gambling. Like, literally, we are going to see. We say, like, like, people just ignore that people like me exist. People like those around me. Like that there are people who live that hand to mouth. But they do. And a lot of people are going to take their own lives over this cost of living crisis. But then again, if they're going to do that, they might as well do it and decrease the surplus population. Right, Scrooge? How long ago did Dickens live? And the rich fucking hated us back then. Imagine what they think of us now that there's so many more. Let's not forget Stanley Johnson thinks that the population of the UK should be 50 fucking thousand. And Boris Johnson said the biggest problem facing humanity is people having children. It's like everything is arse about face right now. And come back to the point, Carrie Ann. A lot of people are going to lose their life because they can't make the numbers add up. Even rich people take their lives when they can't make the numbers add up. And when you realise that the numbers aren't meant to fucking add up, like literally these just keep us chasing around, going around little mazes while they just sit there. They don't have to worry, mate. They've got 32 years worth of fucking seconds in their bank account. Most people in the UK, most people don't even have 2 minutes to live on a week. And there's bastards there, sat there with 32 years in the bank. This is if you equate seconds to millions, billions. It's like 32 years is 1 billion seconds. 12 days is 1 million seconds. And we consider people with 1 million rich. And most people don't even have 2 minutes to live on a week. That's the inequality of the world that we live in. And there's even more billionaires being made. There were 6 made just out of the vaccine. I don't know whether that's one company or whether all of them. Moderna, Pfizer and all of them. 9 new billionaires were created from that altruistic act of healthcare. Seriously, we need to start waking up about this because these people are lying to us. Remember when the poison dwarf came over and spoke to Itchy Ballsack, right? And Itchy Ballsack said, when it comes to arming Ukraine, nothing is off the table. Nothing. He could come over here and say, give me nuclear warheads, and Itchy Ballsack would say, yes, sir. How many? Planes, have them. Tanks, have them. No cost, like it's too steep. Nothing is off the table. No expense spared for the poison dwarf. Well, for the people that he works for, but we're all owned, Ukraine and UK. We all have the same banking overlords, and that's who everybody works for. All of these actors, Itchy Ballsack, but even Putin, all actors acting a part. It's the banking overlords who are them. When I say them, I don't mean Itchy Ballsack. I don't mean the poison dwarf, and I don't mean Putin, and I don't mean Biden. He'd fucking hell, oh crikey. Why he ain't in a nursing home, I don't know, but that's not my cervix, not my menses. But yeah, this cost of living crisis, we are actually going to get some money eventually on the 25th, between the 25th of April and the 17th of May. So if you know somebody who's struggling with money, just give them a shoulder to cry on, please. Another thing we can do, like I said, like one thing we can do is just shut our eyes and just ask the all for guidance, right? Just communicate. The all is there to be communicated with. Trust me, I do it. I've been doing it for 15 years. It works. It happens. It's a thing, right? And I've done videos in the past where I explain how, it's happened in the real world. Like the guy who was on board, who basically was shipwrecked. He was eating fish, the flesh of the fish. And then all of a sudden he started craving the eyeballs and the spinal cord and the lungs and things like this. And then they broke down what all these things contained, and they contained the nutrients that he needed to stay alive. He was dying, and something that he wasn't in contact with told him exactly what he needed. He was craving this. He found it delicious, and that's what kept him alive. That is communication with the universe. It can happen. It does happen. So, but when you're distracted. This is why one of the many reasons they keep us distracted. Partly it's so that we don't fucking look at them and notice what they're doing, but also it's so that we don't communicate with the universe, right? Because we're too busy chasing numbers around, memorizing numbers, and then, you know, like, because we're so knackered, because we have to work 5 days out of every 7, and we don't get any time to relax and let our minds wander and communicate. So we just put the telly on for half an hour, we're feet up, get our information from liars, and then go to bed knackered, get up and do the same thing. Literally, these people are fucking us over on a monumental scale. We mean nothing to them bastards. But to us, to our higher power, to the all that we are a part of, we mean everything. And I will make it make sense. But the point, Gary Ann, if you know somebody who's struggling, I know you can't help them financially, and I wouldn't suggest that, you know, like we go out, because that's what they want. They want us distributing what little we have between each other. That's why charity exists, so that we just give away what little we have, because we're good people. They are not. They are not good people. They do not care about you. They only care about themselves, which is why they are languishing in obscene amounts of wealth and then dangling 300 quid in front of people and keeping them for 6 fucking months, just waiting on that £300. Please, 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 please. Do you know what I mean? Personally, I just adapted my life. We live in a shit house. I don't cook in the oven. When come the end of April, May, I'll be able to get the oven fixed. Yay! But and we've lost the remote for the fire stick, so we've got no telly either. Cracking. But like I say, compared to a lot of people, I'm well off. You know, like, and my heart goes out to them. We need to keep these people safe, because they don't deserve to live like this. And they live like this so they can live like that. Millions of us live on the breadline in poverty so that they can have numbers ticking up on a screen. They could never physically spend it if they tried. It literally just sits there. It just means it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to them. It should belong to us. We're all born naked and alone with only our 2 hands, our skills and abilities, our talents, and the earth's resources to do with things with. Money can only physically, the only things that money can physically equate to are earthly resources and manpower. So when that money is there, that means we can't function as a society for the benefit of all. Because we have those resources aren't ours to use. Our gifts and abilities aren't being paid for. They're being wasted. Literally, the world is run upside fucking down. Literally, these are bottom feeders. They're not the cream of the crop, mate. They're the dregs of the fucking earth. And I will make sense one day. But yeah, we are going to get the cost of living payout. Anybody wants to come round for a pie, I'll bake you a pie in me oven come summertime. Well, I might even buy a barbecue. No, that's too much. That's too much. I've got nowhere to put a barbecue. And I've got multiple sclerosis. I can't be asked to barbecue. Barbecuing sounds, you know, like barbecuing's fun. Cleaning the barbecue, no. Right, anyways, that's completely irrelevant. So yeah, check in on your mates. Just make sure that everybody's, you know, because this is a spiritual war, and part of the reason that they're fucking us over with the money, they have it because the poison dwarf can have as much as he likes. We can't, because they are hoping that we kill ourselves off for them. Plus, also, we'll get rowdy, and then they can police us better. Just a quick note before I go, please, if you know somebody's a policeman, will you remind them that they're being fucked over as well? The people that they are being paid to police are themselves. They're not them. The people that they're working for are the bad guys. The police in the wrong end. And on that note, I shall let you go. Keep your vibration as high as you can. And if you ever feel down, reach out. Like you can talk to me anytime. Message me on Facebook, and I'll tell you a joke or two. Try and pull you back up. But we need to be doing this now more than ever, and it's only going to get worse, I'm afraid, just for the foreseeable future. But we will get through it together. When we start working together, we can start to get through this, and the world's going to change for the better. Promise you. Just please, we need to want to try. That is all we're waiting on. That is the switch. We just need to want to try, to come together, to discuss it. They're gone, mate. They're gone. They can keep their 32 years, their hundreds of 32 years. We'll just wipe that out. Give them everything they've got. Move them. Create a monetary system that works based on manly resources. Ooh. Manpower and earthly resources. I'm sorry, but I'm just going to go off and think of manly resources now. Oh, I'm single. Give me a chance. Yes, shut up waffling, carry on. Stay strong. Hang in there. And I'll speak to you soon. And I love you all. Bye.